Yo, Mermails are one of the dopest decks out there. Tons of OTK combos and lots of awesome potential for rewarding high levels of good technical play and good resource management. What's going on there, guys? I'm another content creator here named Twiz on YouTube. I'm a longtime friend, Asian Persuasion. Thank you for letting me post this video on your channel, man. He let me post this deck profile for you guys. He recently posted a video on my channel, so I figured I'd post one on his channel and do a little bit of a takeover. If at the end of this video you guys happen to enjoy it, make sure you guys drop a like on this video and happen to go check out my channel where you guys can go join my baby dragon squad and potentially get some cool new videos. Let's get into this deck profile, guys. All right, duelists, so as any Mermail deck profile requires, we got to start off with the obligatory Deep Sea Diva and 3 Prince. This is a fantastic engine for the deck, allows you to do so much in Mermails, allows you to dump those Atlanteans to the grave and get some free advantage off them, but also allows you to either make some cool synchro plays, or if he goes to the graveyard for a water monsters effect, you're also going to be able to revive an Atlantean monster. And predominantly the monsters you're going to be sending are either 2 Atlantean Dragoons, there's 2 Marksmen, and then 2 Infantries. These are the 6 Atlantean monsters you're predominantly going to be using to actually send for Prince. They're really important, equally important in my opinion. Marksman's probably one of the weaker ones, just because back rows, you know, you can kind of deal with them quite easily, and this is one of the cards, you know, right now, back rows aren't exactly the new hottest thing. A lot of the back rows that are going to be face down are either going to be Draco cards, or a lot of the times people are going to be using hand traps to interact with you. So Infantry is probably a little bit better than Marksman, but I think Marksman is still important in this deck as a 2-up, because you can still do some OTKs with him and Dragoons, being able to bring him out from deck. And also, I don't want to banish the 1 Marksman out of my deck if I happen to desires it away, so I do need some extra pieces in here, and I think these are really, really cool. I think this is a very solid ratio for the Atlanteans. Next, for the Mermail monsters, I'm running double Pike as well as 1 Turge. The combo with these guys is you pretty much use your guns and you use them to loop one another. Now I'm actually running 3 guns in this deck just because this is a much more Mermail heavy combo oriented deck, and I will show you guys that it's still possible to do the Yugioh combo thanks to Mistar Boy. You're still able to go Bahamut Toad. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it can come up and it's just really cool. You're basically still able to spam the board quite easily with these. They're definitely not as good as they once were, but they're still fantastic being able to loop your guns, and I think this is a very important part of the deck just because it allows you to put immediate board pressure on the field. We run 1 Lind. I think she's still important. I'm running 1 Sphere in the deck. I only use her because of that 1 Sphere. I don't think she's that great. She is kind of a brick monster in the deck. You don't really want to see her early on, but she allows you to access Megalo or any of the other guys if you really need to, or do those end phase shenanigans. I'm also running the Yugioh package. I'm running 1 Yugioh, 1 Hildy, and 1 Mander. I think this package is okay right now. I did post a recent deck profile of Mermails on my channel that didn't include this. This version's a little bit more combo oriented, where it focuses on bringing out Mistar Boy with this. Basically, you can do this combo by having a water monster and then either like a level 4 or one of these guys in your hand. And essentially what you can do with Teus is bring out Yugioh, use the Yugioh, get out these 2 guys or whatever other combination of guys you have, make Mistar Boy here, and then from then on, because you have Mistar Boy pointing down, you can use the Hildy now that it goes to graveyard, since she doesn't miss timing, so because she's a if can effect, not a when can effect. She'll be able to bring out one of your level 4s, such as Pike or Turge from hand, and then you can overlay with the Pike and Turge here for Bahamut Shark, and then with Bahamut Shark you detach to bring out a Toad. So the combo is still very much possible. You're not going to be doing it as frequently, and it's not going to be as spammy. You're not going to be able to do it multiple times over the course of a game, but it's still a very high level combo, and there's some cool opportunities you can still use these cards for, but they can potentially be bricks in your deck. For the 7s, I run 3 Teus as well as 3 Megalos. I think these are all very staple. I was almost going to be running Lead in this deck. I think Lead is actually pretty good in this format. Being able to rip cards out of your opponent's hand is very effective. These are very good just for OTK potential, and you want to see these cards as quickly as possible. I run 1 Moulinglacia. I think Moulinglacia is still just an OTK card, you know, being able to rip cards out of your opponent's hands just like Lead, still easily accessible. In this particular version though, unlike the one I recently shared on my channel, I'm actually playing the Frog engine. I'm playing triple Swap Frog as well as 1 Dupe Frog and 1 Ronin Toadin. This engine's actually good in this deck just because, like I said, it's a little bit more combo heavy. We are already running the Totally Awesomes in the extra deck for the Bahamut Shark play, so you're not really handicapping your extra deck by running Frogs in this, because the extra deck for Mermails tends to be very, very tight in a lot of cases. So you want to pretty much manage your extra deck to where it works with everything and you're running the most optimized engine in your main deck to actually complement that. So this is great. It's also really good going first and second engine, because just opening Swap Frog, you're able to discard any water monster and then just do the Totally Awesome play, and if your opponent can't answer that, you're getting a free Toad, and then you just go up with the rest of your plays. So it's good in that regard, but then even going even going first, you're able to just set it up very easily. So I really like that aspect. I'm not running multiple Ronins or multiple dupes just because of spacing issues. And this isn't like the main focal point of the deck. So this is just a complementary piece where it allows you to get your plays off or have some stunting aspects to your opponent's plays. So I really like that aspect of the Frog Engine. And then for board wipes, I'm running 3 Gamma Seals. I think this is very critical in a deck like this. Gamma Seal is just fantastic being a water, so if it's ever dead, you could always discard it for swap or your other Mermail cards or Atlantean cards. I just like it a lot. Being able to clear Masterpiece is very important in a deck like this because you can struggle with Masterpiece. And the only hand trap I'm main decking is 1 Max C. You could main deck Ashes if you want to. I'm actually side decking them in this deck. For spells, I'm using 3 Desires just for draw power. You really want to do this after you get rid of the Dragoons out of your deck because that's a very important aspect to this deck. So there's just draw power, 1 Soul Charge and 1 1-for-1 for some cool combos. You can get out your Neptibus, you can get out your, all your monsters from your grave. This is just like one of the best cards in this deck, especially with Mistar Boy, as well as the Bahamut Toad play. This is a very big enabler. For additional board wipes, I'm running Dark Hole as well as Raigeki. And then I'm running 3 traps in this deck. The traps, I don't really like traps in decks like these because it's a combo based deck, but I am running 3 of them nonetheless. I'm running 1 Sphere. For the Sphere play, you can search with Megalo, but I'm also running 1 Abyss Squall. And some of you guys may be unfamiliar with Abyss Squall. You may have not seen it in Mermails. But it's another card you can search with Megalo, and it allows you, when you activate it, to basically special summon 3 Mermail monsters from your graveyard. So it's kind of like a Soul Charge, but in trap form. And then in addition to that, during the end phase, they'll die. So if you happen to bring out a Lind, you'll be able to have her die and then get out a free card. But you usually just use this to bring out your monsters, and then XYZ or potentially Synchro or Link plays with them. So I think Sphere is very good in this deck. I almost had a variant where I was playing 3 Abyss Squalls and then like 1 Sphere, and then just basically just trying to turbo out through all my Mermails with Squalls. I think Squall is very important right now. I think it offers new OTK combos, and at the very least, it's a defensive card if your opponent is trying to just kill you, so you can just flip this and just bring out Mermail monsters. And the last trap I'm utilizing is 1 Torrential Tribute, just as another board wipe. Board wipes are always good in this deck, and it's great with Sphere or Lind. And a lot of the times you can just set up your opponent to where you just set this, they'll extend into their board, you torrential them, and then as a result of that, next turn you could just simply OTK them. For the extra deck, as I said, is very tight. You guys can change up some of the extra deck ratios if you'd like, but this is currently what I'm using. I'm only using 1 Mistar Boy for my only Link monster. I don't actually need any others. You can always shuffle itself back, or you can actually put it back with Toad. So you don't really need more than 1 of this in my experience, just because you go into it quite sparingly. This is a deck where you don't need to go into your extra deck. You just can if you'd like to. I'm running double Toad as well as 1 Bahamut Shark. This is for the play that you can do. Now I'm running double Toad simply because you can use 1 Toad with your Frog Engine and then keep looping that if you'd like, or you can use the other Toad with your Bahamut Shark. You could theoretically just have 1 Toad, 1 Bahamut, and then just keep looping your Toad, but in some cases you might not want to put back Toad, and if you have access to your Frog Engine, I would always like to have access to that 2nd Toad. So this is why. I'll show you guys the play once again if you guys are unclear about it, but I'll show it to you at the end of this video. But this is very important. I run 1 Mech-Whipped Engineer. This is good actually just because of the Marksman, the Lind, as well as some of the other rank 3s you run in this deck like Gund. You could potentially have multiples of her in your hand, or Oshia. 1 Dweller and 1 Silent Honor Arc, just very staples. Silent Honor Arc isn't that great right now, it's just another water, that's really why I use it. 1 Tornado Dragon. This is much better than Diamond Dyer, other than the fact that you can't immediately get 2 materials in the grave for Mulling Glacia sometimes. But this is good against the Magician deck. For rank 7s, I'm running 1 Draco Sack, 1 Big Eye, and 1 Gaios. I don't have room for Red Eye's Black Metal, but that's another option you could use if you'd like to. Final extract monsters, just some synchros. I run Tatsunoko for Diva, the Coral Dragon as a follow-up play along with Trishula, and then finally we run the 1 Leo Keeper of the Sacred Tree. For the side deck, I'm currently just testing something out for the new format. You guys can change it up if you'd like to. I'm running 3 Zaphions. This is, not only is it good because it's a water monster, so it's ever dead, you can just discard it, but it's great against the Magician Pendulum deck as well as any of the pure Demise variants or Demise Draco variants. They're very good because you can just pretty much OTK them with this, really. Like honestly, you just summon this, clear their back rows, and the next turn they literally just don't have anything. You just put your Mermail cards on the field and you just win. So this card is very, very good and effective. I'm side decking 3 Ash. This will probably move itself into the main deck once Double Helix comes out for Spirals. To deal with ABCs and Cosmos, I'm running 3 System Downs. You can struggle against Buster as well as Cosmos because you can't target the Cosmos, so I'm running 3 System Downs against that deck. And then I'm running 3 Dimensional Barriers, predominantly for either ABCs. You can side this in against the Invoke decks or a little bit more the Invoked Wind Witch variants if you're playing against them, because this can hit their Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. their Winter Bell, you could hit their Invoke Fusions, and then in addition to that, this can also be used against Pendulums, which is like the most devastating deck, because that deck can give this deck a really big run for its money. And then I'm running 1 Imperial Order, just for going first, just to potentially lock out those Pendulum players. And then finally, the last 2 cards in my side deck are actually just against Draco decks or Masterpiece decks. The Utopia package, Utopia 39, and 1 Utopia the Lightning. If I had more room in the side deck, I would probably consider running, especially moving forward, I would probably consider running Reaper or Winter Cherries, along with maybe like a Buster, a Mikaba, a Water Invoked guy, and then maybe a double Helix for Spirals when it comes out, just because it's an OTK. It's not really an OTK, but it's a floodgate against them. It can just auto win you the game. But this is really important because you need to be able to out Masterpiece decks. So what's cool about this deck is you're still able to do the Bahamut Toad play with this deck. And once again, I will show you guys that play. Simply all you need, and there's a lot of different variations to this, but you basically just need Teus, and then any water monster plus a level 4 water monster. So you can have Turge, Pike, it doesn't really matter what. So you basically just need any water card to discard for Teus. You bring out your Abystius, you use your Abystius to get yourself an Oshia. You summon the Oshia, you use Oshia's effect targeting the Teus, and then you'll bring out any combination of these guys. Typically, if you, let's say you drew one of these 2 guys, or let's say you drew the Mander, but you have Pike in your deck or Turge, you'll bring this out, and then you'll simply just use this to bring out this. So let's just say for the sake of the video, you use Oshia, you get out Mander, and you bring out Abyss Hild. The Teus goes to the graveyard. Now your field is these 3 monsters right here, and you still have a Pike or Turge in your hand. You can go Abyss Oshia plus Hildy, and then you use those 2 to make Mistar Boy as a link monster. And what you do here is he points diagonally, so you're able to access 2 more extra deck. You're able to put 2 more extra deck monsters here. And since Hildy just went to the graveyard, you're able to utilize her effect to special summon a Pike from your hand. And if you have another water monster, you can use Pike's effect here. But then what you can do is you can overlay these 2 for a Bahamut Shark here. And then because Bahamut Shark now has an additional zone, since you have Mistar Boy out on the field, you're able to use these guys, detach the Mander typically in this case, for Bahamut Shark, and then you're able to summon a Toad here, which is really, really cool, into this zone. So your field will pretty much look like this. It's essentially a 3-card combo to basically go get Mistar Boy, Toad, and Bahamut Shark. And it's really cool because he'll still give all your monsters a boost. He'll make your Bahamut Shark a 3100 beater, as well as your Toad, it will make a 2700 beater. So this is still a very easy combo you can do with this deck. It's like I said, a 3-card combo. All you need is Teus, a water monster, and either a Pike, Turge, or Mander in your hand. And you can do this a lot of different there's a lot of different variants to this. It's just one possible way. And if your opponent doesn't happen to deal with the Bahamut Shark and the Mistar Boy, you're able to do it again the next turn if you use Toad or something else along those lines. So it's cool. And if your opponent does clear the Mistar Boy at this situation, so like if you get to this point and your opponent somehow deals with the Mistar Boy, you can shuffle himself back or another water monster from your grave. You can add it back to your hand, like let's say the Teus, for instance. And then if you still have these 2 monsters, your extra deck monsters out is still unlocked here. So you are able to use Toad's effect again here, and then you can get out, or Bahamut Shark's effect here, and you can get out another Toad. So there's some cool plays you can do with this deck. I still really like that aspect of it. It's a little bit more glass cannon-y with this particular strategy if your opponent has a hand trap. So you definitely have to be very careful and cognizant when you're doing these plays and managing your resources correctly, because if your opponent knows you're running this, your opponent can really take advantage of that. But in addition to that, you're still able to use your Frog Engine as well as any of your other Mermail plays to OTK your opponent. What separates my deck from the others is you're able to do that play, and you're able to use cards like Abyss Squall to their maximum potential. I'm running the Gamma Seals, obviously, and I think the Frog Engine is very important to a deck like this just because it gives you an element of grinding, which is something Mermails don't really have. They don't really grind very well, and they're only good in a simplified game state when they're advancing their game with +1 cards, such as Prince or other similar cards. So that's the only time Mermails can really be super, super efficient. But other than that, I really like also the fact that I'm running 3 guns and I'm still able to do a lot of the cool loops. So this deck is very fun. It's very, it still can be glass cannon-y, as I said, but I really like Mermails. If you guys enjoyed this deck profile, please make sure to smash that like button for my boy Johnny. I put a lot of time, care, and thought into this video, as well as a lot of my other videos you guys will see on my channel if you guys head on over there. take it easy, Duelist. I hope you guys enjoyed this Mermail deck profile with links. I do have a similar variant, but a little bit different on my channel, as well as tons of other videos. I do deck profiles a lot of the time. I do discussions, everything from competitive to casual play. I do openings every now and again. I do a lot of different content, and I do stream quite a bit as well on Twitch and YouTube. So I think you guys will enjoy my channel. If you guys haven't seen it, please go on over there and check it out. Thank you once again to my boy Johnny for posting this Mermail deck profile to his channel. I wish him nothing but the best of luck, and at the very least you guys support him on his channel. And I hope you guys all remember to believe in the heart of the cards. I'll see you guys hopefully on my channel.